What is up, guys, and welcome to the finale of Season 1 of my F1 2016 mobile career mode. And today we have the Brazilian Grand Prix in Sao Paulo. Go check out the last episode if you haven't seen it already. Some gameplay of that on screen. That was at Kota in the USA, and that was an interesting race with an interesting strategy. So be sure to obviously make sure you watch these episodes in order. That way it properly makes sense. And yeah, anyway, we're here today for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Hamilton has already won the championship. Mercedes already Constructors champions, but don't forget Rosberg, having not won until round 12, has just won 3 races in a row, so he's really finishing the season on a high. So will he be able to continue that momentum into the last race? Let's find out. And for the last time in Season 1, let's get into the race.
Time for today's race at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache circuit here in Sao Paulo, and as any of the 80,000 capacity crowd will tell you, this is going to be a fantastic race.
So here we are then on the grid at the Brazilian Grand Prix in P5. So it was another great quali from me to end the season on a high. And also we're starting on the medium tyres with the aim of doing a one-stop today. So for the final time in Season 1, we're revving up to 5 red lights for the start of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go, and it's been a good start considering we're on a harder compounded tyre. We're putting Raikkonen under pressure and we're side by side with Ricciardo into turn 1. I back out to try and make sure I leave some space, but in the end I get swarmed on either side. I've made contact there with Raikkonen, the Iceman, squeezing me a little bit there. However, for now that is me up into P4. However, that's Ricciardo now getting back past me, so the Red Bull into P4, and it looks like Max Verstappen has already gotten ahead of me because he's side by side down the Retro Aposta into the end of the first sector. Bottas has got past me as well, so it looks like I'm down on straight line speed on this harder compound of tyre. So in the end it hasn't actually been that good a start. The initial phase was great, but as we're getting on later in the lap we've been overtaken by Valtteri Bottas and Max Verstappen. The Red Bulls are kicking up a lot of dirt as they go onto the grass. For now I'm just going to see if I can follow suit as we go into the twisty windy middle sector. This is an okay track for the AI. This is also one which I would say I'm relatively good at, which obviously helps. And again, it's quite a short lap round here. Notice it's 18 laps. That's one of the longest races of the season. Ricciardo's been dropped by Verstappen now. He's looking a little bit slow. Could we maybe even try and make a move there on the Australian? Yes, we can. He goes wide, as did his teammate Max Verstappen. And at the end of lap 1, we're already closing back up to this pack. Valtteri Bottas has already moved himself up into 3rd place, and it looks like Rosberg has taken the lead away from Lewis Hamilton. So again, Rosberg showing that he's in fantastic form, and it's been a great start if your name is Valtteri Bottas in the Williams, as he's got into 3rd place. We're trying to get past Verstappen. For some reason he was very slow there through turn 1, and in the end that means the Red Bull managed to stay ahead because I had to back out there. As we now move on to lap number 3, I'm still being patient and trying to have a look at Verstappen. But yes, I ran into the back of him there because I kind of forgot at the time of recording he was going to do that. And now I've sustained a bit of front wing damage, which obviously isn't very helpful. And moving through the middle sector, I'm so slow. You can see in the wing mirrors, Perez is all over me. I've gone wide there. I'm not going to put up any resistance to my teammate, and I'm going to let him through. This is the last race we're going to be teammates, obviously, because I'm going to be driving for a different team next season. But you can see visually already how much of a gap Perez and Verstappen have pulled out on me. And that's all because of this damage. I mean, the AI, obviously, they tend to go wide through that corner anyway. But moving on to lap 5, down into P8, and this is Carlos Sainz who's now behind me. But what's going on there? The Red Bulls! The Red Bulls have made contact with each other. And that was Ricciardo and Verstappen, both in the wall. That's gifted me 2 positions. I have no idea what's happened there. Sainz has been held up by that. Let's get a quick replay. They just took each other out. Ricciardo and Verstappen, they sort of bunny hopped over one another. And look at the replay in slow-mo. I've no idea which car is on top of each other there. I think Verstappen went over the top of Ricciardo, but either way, Christian Horner is not going to be a happy man. And actually at the end of that lap, I'm already going to move off these tyres and fix my front wing damage, because I'm just so slow. I'm losing time everywhere. We're going to fit the hard tyres and see if we can now make it to the end of the Grand Prix by doing a one-stop strategy. 4.9 seconds, not too bad for a wing change, but we're coming out the pit lane in P21, and well, what is going on here? We've got this pit lane glitch again where it just stops your car. You saw it happened with Button as well, who was in front of me. I don't know why the game does that. It's actually very, very annoying. And now look at this, you can visually see that that's cost me the place to Marcus Ericsson. So we're all the way down in last place here, and now we see a quick time lapse just to see how much I caught up to the Sauber through the end of the middle sector. I've altered the setup as well, but we're going to go down the inside. Contact being made with the Swede. He's really putting the squeeze on. I have to try and leave him some room, but in the end he's being very aggressive and he nearly spins me. I keep it out of the wall, but that was very, very stubborn of him there to not give up the racing line. Again, we've said that the AI cars do that, unfortunately, and there we go. I've just set a fastest lap of the Grand Prix by about 3 seconds round the outside of two cars at turn 1, Button and Grosjean. That was a very nice overtake, and now we are catching up to Ricciardo. Both the Red Bulls had to make a pit stop and are therefore right down the order. We're going to try and see if we can go around the outside of the Honey Badger there, making sure we leave the Red Bull space on the inside. There we go, easy does it. And now we are up into P11. Next up on the road is the Renault, I believe, of Kevin Magnussen, and then the Toro Rosso of Carlos Sainz. And again, with our altered setup, we are much quicker on the straights. We're gaining on Sainz with DRS. That was a very, very satisfying DRS overtake into turn 1. We've got the move done before the braking zone. The Dane of Kevin Magnussen, he pulled into the pit lane at the end of the lap. And now we're going to cut over to lap number 11, and I'm catching up to the second Red Bull of Max Verstappen, but this is a lap car. He's right at the back of the grid after that collision with Ricciardo. He's just had no luck this season. He has had no luck this year. I think he's about 7th or 8th in the Drivers' Championship. And this is Magnussen. Now that was a very, very cutting it fine there, trying to lap the other car there. But now this is lap 13. My tyres are starting to experience a little bit of tyre wear, but I'm into P5 due to some pit stops being made. Up ahead is my teammate Perez in P4, so he's doing very well. And this is the lap car of Pascal Wehrlein. We're going to try and go up the middle here of both of them. We leave the space, no contact made. And that was a very cheeky move to get into P4. We managed to capitalise from that. But now we're cut to the second last lap of the Grand Prix. This is the end of the penultimate lap. And as you can see, I'm onto the podium because Bottas, who was originally in 3rd place, has had to make a pit stop. So now we are onto the podium as we're just going to lap Esteban Gutierrez. We're now onto the final lap of Season 1. And well, my tyres, if you look in the top right-hand corner, are absolutely dead. This is now going to be tyre management, damage limitation to see if we can make it across the line with a podium finish. But even on these worn tyres, I'm still catching Lewis Hamilton. I'm still catching the two Mercedes. Rosberg is only just a bit in front of Hamilton, so you can see maybe if there'd have been a couple of extra laps in this race, or maybe if we'd have been quicker at the start of this race, we might well have been able to win here today. So maybe this is an opportunity squandered, but Hamilton 3.8 seconds down the road, it might just be too little too late. Gutierrez, you can see in the wing mirrors, the lap car, he wants to unlap himself. He's quicker than me at this stage of the race. I'm really not bothered. I'm just trying to bring it home for a podium. This will be our 4th podium of the season. After Monaco, Austria and Singapore, we're out of the last corner. It's been a great season overall in Season 1, considering the car we've had. Nico Rosberg, 4 wins from 4 races out of the last 4. My tyres are near puncture territory, but we're going to bring the curtains down on Season 1 with a fantastic podium in Brazil, considering we were last at one point in this race. What a race. There are the results for the final time in Season 1. Yes, I got a 2-second penalty for corner cutting, but it didn't matter anyway because we were comfortably clear in 3rd. A decent result today. In the end, Daniel Ricciardo managed 1 point, but Max Verstappen was miles down in last place. been a poor season for him. The final Drivers' Championship standings are there on your screen now as we look to scroll up through the standings. It was a decent season for McLaren considering the car they had. Verstappen only managed P9. My teammate Sergio Perez jumps to P7 today after his points. In the end, Rosberg was comfortably second after a huge uptake in form in the last few races. We secure fourth in the Constructors behind Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes, so best of the rest. And in the end, that is going to be the final say of Season 1. And there you go, on screen now is our season's briefing. We managed one win at Monaco, we finished 6th overall in the Drivers' Championship, achieved 99 points out of a possible 375, and we achieved our objective, because our objective was to finish in the top 8. We got 4th in the Constructors. My teammate only contributed 54 points out of our 153 team points, but yeah, that is our roundup for Season 1. But guys, that's it for Season 1. Please be sure to like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed Season 1. Season 2 will be uploaded in just a couple of days' time. I'm very eager to start Season 2, so do stay tuned for that. That's all I have to say. The support recently has been insane, so thank you so much for that. Let's keep it going, and I'll see you guys all next time. Goodbye.